You want to be a data engineer in 2026? I need to tell you, I discarded 10 resumes before breakfast and rejected 10 more candidates that I interviewed in this last week. Do you know why? Because they were following a roadmap from 2024. They listed pandas and SQL as their primary skills and expected a six-figure salary. In the DE market in 2026, the ETL monkey is dead. If your entire value proposition is writing a SQL script to move JSON from an API to a warehouse, you are already obsolete. An AI agent can do that in 4 seconds for fractions of a penny. We are entering the era of AI-augmented data engineer. If you want to survive the next 5 years, you need to stop thinking like a plumber and start thinking like a strategic partner. This is the 4-phase roadmap to get you there. It's not a list of tools to memorize. It is the survival guide for the remainder of your career. The days of SQL and no-code tool data engineers are over. In 2026, a data engineer is a software engineer who happens to specialize in data. If you can't write robust, modular, testable code, then you are a liability to my infrastructure. Documentation will tell you to learn Python. I'm telling you, learn software craftsmanship. Here's the difference. A junior engineer writes a script that works on their laptop. A senior engineer writes the code that survives a cloud outage, a schema change, and a bad API response without waking me up at 3 a.m. Here's the roadmap item. Stop memorizing syntax and start mastering CI/CD and testing. I want to see PyTest in your resume. I want to see GitHub Actions or Databricks asset bundles. I want to know that you understand how to containerize your environment with Docker so that it runs exactly the same in production as it does in development. Here is the story that really is the igniter for this particular roadmap piece. I once had an engineer that didn't fully test and ended up having a bunch of silent errors in production. This was causing files to be missed, data to be inaccurate, and reporting to fail audits, all because they were using try-except blocks in their code. VPs were demanding to know where missing opportunity wins were, and CEOs wanted to know why sales was telling them that they were on target when reports were telling them that they were 10% below. Here's the verdict. You need to learn to code like a developer. If you can't write a unit test, don't touch my pipelines. Phase 2. Everyone talks about the AI models. Nobody talks about the plumbing that actually keeps it alive. Here's the reality. 80% of AI projects fail. They don't fail because the math is wrong. They fail because the engineering is from 2014. In 2026, you aren't just building tables for a Tableau dashboard anymore. You are now building the feeding tube for an automated brain for your business. If your data platform allows schema drift, you're breaking the model. If your data platform doesn't isolate the compute that your AI platform is running off of, then that AI training job is going to crash your production reporting. The roadmap item here. Stop obsessing over niche AI tools if you can't even govern the core platform that you're using. You need to master workload management and the semantic layer before you even step forward. I need you to answer these questions right now. How do you isolate the heavy compute of model training from the latency-sensitive queries of your CEO's dashboard? How do you ensure that customer LTV is calculated exactly the same way for the AI agent as it is for your CFO? And how do you expose business metrics to an LLM without forcing it to write complex SQL that hallucinates your answer? Here is the ROI calculation. If a data scientist spends 4 weeks cleaning your messy data to build one model, then you're burning $20,000 a month in salary for absolutely nothing. If you build a clean, governed platform, they end up shipping that model in 3 days. You become the difference between an R&D tax write-off and a competitive advantage. I worked with a team that refused to put any business logic in their warehouse. They let the analysts bury it all inside proprietary Power BI reporting. And when the AI initiative started, they hit a wall. The AI agent couldn't read the logic that was all locked inside that reporting tool. It had no idea what gross margin actually meant or how it was calculated. They had to scrap a 6-month initiative because the data engineering team had been treating the warehouse like a dumping ground instead of a source of truth. Don't be the engineer who just moves data. Be the engineer who owns the logic that makes the AI integration possible. Phase 3, architecture and governance. Let's talk about the dirty secret of the cloud. It is designed to bleed companies dry. They sold you on cheap storage and sucker punched you on compute. In 2020, we just spun up massive clusters and we didn't care. The money was free. In 2026, however, CFOs are auditing every single query that gets written. If you list Spark on your resume, but you don't understand partition pruning, shuffle operations, or broadcast joins, I'm not hiring you. You become a liability when you write a query that scans 50 terabytes of data to find 3 rows. And I'm going to have to explain that bill to my C-suite. Here's the roadmap item. Master table formats. Think about Iceberg, Delta Lake. Understand why we're moving away from proprietary lock-in and towards more open standards. But more importantly, learn FinOps. You don't just build pipelines. When you design an architecture, your first thought should be, what is the total cost of ownership of this solution? I recently reviewed a candidate who built this beautiful real-time streaming architecture. It was technically impressive, and I was excited to interview him because this project was listed on his resume. It was also built on the Databricks Free Edition, where he really didn't have to see any billing for it. That architecture cost about $15K a month to maintain for a data set that only really needed to be updated once a day. When I asked him why he chose real-time ingestion, he said, well, I really wanted to practice streaming. He didn't understand the business problem. He wanted to play with expensive toys. So this is a lesson for you. This is why I'm sharing this with you. When you're in an interview setting, don't just say, I use that because I wanted to practice it. Have a real code to cache type of solution for why you made the decisions that you made in your projects. That is why when I am coaching my clients and we have our sessions about each project and they are presenting their project to me, I make them explain to me the decisions that they made and why they made them. That piece is so important when you're doing your interview. Make sure it comes across. Strategy beats syntax every time. If you build projects to practice a skill, make sure that the architecture matches the reality. You need to be able to defend your decisions in an interview just like you would in a postmortem. Phase 4, orchestration and data quality. Now, finally, let's talk about the real nervous system of your platform, orchestration. I still see engineers using cron jobs and listing that as a achievement on their resume. If I see cron jobs in production, I assume that you just gave up on life and you're just floating through your career. You need a tool that manages dependencies, retries, and backfills, whether it's Airflow, Dagster, or Databricks jobs. I don't care which one you pick, but pick one and master it. But here's the catch. In 2026, data quality is no longer optional. Back in the day, if a dashboard was wrong, a manager was annoyed. Today, if your data is wrong, an AI agent is making an automated decision that could credit a customer $10K or delete a production account. Data contracts and observability are your roadmap item for this phase. You need to implement checks that stop bad data at the source. Use tools like Monte Cristo or Great Expectations to ensure schema enforcement, or program it into your notebooks, going back to that, software engineer concept that we started with at the beginning. If you feed garbage data into an automated AI system, you are creating a localized disaster and you become the gatekeeper. The roadmap isn't Python, SQL, and Databricks. Everyone has that. That is actually the bare minimum just to walk in the door. The market is flooded with script writers, but the architects who can govern a platform, save me money on compute, and feed an AI agent without breaking production, we are starving for them. Now that you have the roadmap, watch this right now so that you could fix your resume and avoid being rejected in the first 11 seconds.